Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. It's a Monday, I know, but hey, it's time to get this week moving. It's Monday, July the 13th of 2020. We are excited to have you with us today. We've got some great guests on the show. But first, as always, my co-host, Brittany Pacheco, joining us from her nerd room. Good morning, Brittany. You ready for another week of this remote working?
Yeah, sure, Todd. I mean, it's the same thing pretty much every day. So, we just have to make the most of it. But good morning to everyone who's joining us on Facebook Live. We're very excited for you to be here today because we will be discussing a very important topic that deals with our international students. And students, if you have any questions in regards to the new rule change, please be sure to leave your comments down below and we will try asking those questions during this live stream. Also, be sure to like us on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to head over to YouTube, where we've got thousands of videos produced by our very own HCC TV. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. And last but certainly not least, be sure to share this podcast so that we can grow our audience, but share this vital information to the masses.
How many weeks have we been doing this remote thing, Brittany? Are we like, week 16 now?
Too long.
Too long? I think it's like the 16th week. It's hard to believe it's been 16 weeks, but that's where we are.
Yeah, I'd say so.
We'll be back with you shortly, Brittany. If you do get some questions during the show that pop up, make sure you pass them on to us and we'll get those answered. We've got a couple of special guests. One of them you may recognize. He was the subject of one of our student success stories, Christopher Kimball, who is an HCC digital communications student. Good morning, Christopher.
Good morning, Todd.
We are glad to have you with us. We'll be back with you in just a moment. But right now, a gentleman who many of you are hoping to hear from right now, Nithy Sevanthinathan. Nithy is our director of the International Student Services Office. Nithy, thank you for being here this morning. I know you guys have been very busy over the last week.
Thanks, Todd. Thanks for thinking of us and thanks to helping us to reach out to all our students. As you know that HCC is a leading institution in the country with the largest international students among community colleges. Despite that status, we do care about our students. I've been responding to many of the social medias, but nobody institution, nobody in the country ever expected to hear this news from our SCVP. So we're going to navigate this and try to keep every student that we can in the country to remain in status and able to shape their dream within the HCC's parameters.
And the questions have been rolling in since the announcement was made, I believe, last week, Nithy, from the Department of Homeland Security and OISS. Statement or rules were made regarding college in the fall and the status of F1 international students. What type of guidance have you guys been able to get from the federal government on this?
So the way the guidance was written, it was a shock for us, as well as all the higher education institutions in the US. There are two processes they involve. One for those who are offering online. That process is if you're offering online, then your student have to return back home country and take classes from there. The second option is if you're offering hybrid, face-to-face and online, then your students can stay in the country and continue their studies. Can you imagine we got close to 1 million students that contributes about 40 billion to the US economy? What kind of devastation is going to impact our local community and all the things that they bring into this institution and to the community in terms of the global understanding?
Globally and here around the United States, it's devastating for tens of thousands of students. But what type of impact will this have on HCC's international students? You mentioned the hybrid courses, and it seems like in the fall, we're headed in that direction.
Correct, Todd. Despite the challenges provided by the SCVP guidelines, we were able to navigate these guidelines in the two phases. Phase one, flex on campus opportunity for all our students. I think the instructional team is working on the details of that so that any F1 students per the SCVP guidelines can able to join the flex on campus opportunity. I've also reached out to our ESL, ESOL team per the guidelines that all ESL, ESOL classes have to be offered face-to-face, and they have met that guidelines as well. So based on the guidelines provided by SCVP HCC will move forward. As you can see, the letter the Chancellor sent out to our HCC community,
Right.
agreeing that we will meet the guidelines and navigate the situation and support all our international students. But remember, we will able to support all our F1 students to meet the guidelines at this point of the journey. But again, we never know what is going to happen this week, whether there'll be any changes, because the amount of advocacy done by people around here as well as around the country is so high, hoping that they may change the course of action. So we will wait and see what happens this week.
And you're talking about waiting to see what happens because there is a lawsuit that's been filed across the country, and from what you've heard about that, that could put all this on hold depending on which way that goes.
Correct, and that's what this week will be a critical week, because the SCVP ICE guidelines came out to all of us on Monday. It's interesting how it came out. It didn't come out as a broadcast message; it just came out as a press release.
Wow!
So it's rather surprising how they operate such a huge policy change by just coming out with a press release rather than, because they know all the emails and contact informations of every DSO and PDSO in the country. They didn't send that out until late evening on Monday.
And so you had no foreseeing that this was going to come. Nobody gave you a heads up. They just unmade the announcement. Is that what you're telling me?
Correct, Todd. You know, if you look at it, correct, Todd, for spring and summer, they allowed us to go all online. So that was the pattern. Remember, we have to see patterns of policies.
Right.
You know, you usually don't deviate from your policy, literally like 180 degrees turn around. It's like, oh, no, you can't do that. And that became a shocker. If you look at HCC was planning for fall semester, is trying to get the faculty, the administration, students to plan for. They've been doing it not last week. They've been doing it for almost few weeks, almost a month ago. Summer, they prepared for summer. Now they're ready for fall. And you just can't throw such policies
Right.
that will really shaken up everybody, because there is resources, one. Second, don't forget, the pandemic is still hot in every part of the country. So we need to be very mindful of the life of humans. It's far more important. If they are not safe, what are we trying to send a message? Are we not concerned about the pandemic?
Boy, you certainly hit the nail on the head there, because it's very concerning. I mean, the Houston area and Harris County, the numbers have been going up over the past 2 weeks, or really the last month. And now, the county judge and the mayor are even talking about another shutdown. So this is far from being over. So it
Correct.
looks like our future is a little bit uncertain as far as delivering education. But one way or another, we want to make sure our students are able to stay. So you guys are working on those answers. I know over the last week we've been getting lots of questions, and I think Brittany has one she's getting now. So I'm going to jump over to Brittany. What do you have, Brittany?
So Nithy, this was actually asked by a student last week when we first announced about the statement on the rule change. And so her concern was there aren't enough face-to-face classes for her program, and the ones that are offered are all at the same time. So my understanding is that international students, because of certain rules, they do have to take the classes within their program. They can't deviate and take classes outside of that program. So in this instance, this young lady who needs to find face-to-face classes, there aren't enough available, but the ones that are all at the same time. What is she to do?
So Brittany, thanks. Tell the students, thank you for asking these questions. I know these are uncertain. Remember, we have these, even pre-COVID time, we had similar situations. I would really encourage the students to reach out to the academic advisor on campus or the academic advisor in our team, and they will explain to you, because we received these guidance last week. I know HCC is working to prepare us for fall, and I'm sure there will be some changes are coming along the way. So the only thing I will tell our students is the common important word, be patient. We will navigate this moment, because it put us into a huge change of plan, and we're trying to navigate this moment. And I believe in my leadership, we will navigate this student and all our students going through this moment. The only uncertainty that we all don't know is what Todd mentioned, the pandemic. You know, what happens if you reach to a certain point, what is going to happen to our county and city? Remember, for me, the life of the student, the life of our faculty, the life of our leaders must be safe first to make any final arrangements. We can't put anybody on harm's way because this guidance, what I'm thinking, never truly use the CDC guidelines as a way to design the policy. So there is two types of policies. CDC might say, you can't do this. You are in the hot zone. What we should do? Whose life is more important? The life of all those who are serving to make this happen. That is very important. So for this student and all our F1 students, just be patient. We will navigate this moment. As I said in the past in my social media, I've been through this moment almost 19 years ago in the 9/11 attack. We went through, all our international students were scrutinized. We passed that moment and became a stronger country. We will pass this moment. The only request to all of us, just be patient. We will climb the mountain together and see the vintage point there.
And Nithy, one last thing before I turn it back over to Todd. Is it enough for our international students to just take one face-to-face class and the rest be online? Can you comment on that?
Yes, Brittany, thank you for asking the question. The way the guidance is provided is one face-to-face, what is called flex on campus, and then the balance will be online. But we are encouraging all our F1s to take 6 face-to-face in case one of the classes have problems or discontinued or canceled. They're still protected throughout the semester because to enroll in online is much more faster because of the CDC guidelines, but to enroll on face-to-face in the middle of the semester could create challenge. So we are encouraging all our F1 students, if all means possible, take 2 or 6 credits face-to-face or flex on campus. That will help all of us to be protected. So I'm preparing a safety net ahead of time rather than try, oh my God, we can't do anything at this point. We are preparing and thinking ahead to ensure you are in status. That's the question we have to do. We will navigate this. So if every student, every F1 can stay on a 6 credits face-to-face or flex on campus, it will really help all of us. If you don't have it, then check with our academic advisors. They will navigate this moment. Thank you, Brittany.
Thanks, Brittany. And Nithy, one of the reasons we have this show is to be responsive to our students and our faculty, staff, and the community to bring HCC news and information out there. This is relevant information that people really need to know. We've got you on this show. You're going to be on the topic this week. We've got you on our student newscast this week as well. And you have a town hall that's coming up on Wednesday, but people need to register ahead of time for that town hall. So if they didn't catch everything or didn't get all the answers in what you said today, they can go to the town hall on Wednesday as well, correct?
Correct, Todd. Todd, we want to be responsive. It's very important. That's the critical thing. And we've been doing it from last week. The moment we received the news, we met with our administration, met with our instructional team to understand, and the legal team to really understand how we can navigate the situation. I've been responding also to many of the calls in the social media to first, let's not spread the rumors. Nobody is deporting anybody. That's not how it works. Am I right? We want to ensure that the lives, the most important thing, the lives of our students, the lives of our faculty, lives of families are safe first. That is the critical thing. And as you can see, the Chancellor's note clearly spelled it out that we are committed to navigate the situation in the most safest way to ensure you will remain here in HCC to shape your dreams. And that's our commitment. That's why we have all these. I really want to thank you, Todd, and your team for your leadership to constantly engage and make us relevant, because many at times, even in the last up to the minute, people say they can't reach us. And that is what I'm going to hammer. We are open virtually. You can reach us. We will respond to you. If we don't get a response, you're more than welcome to reach out to me in the social media, and we will respond accordingly. Remember, we value you. You are an important student to HCC. You bring great values, and we truly means that this is the critical time that we will come together to ensure you are in status and able to continue your academic dream in Houston Community College.
Nithy, very well put. We really appreciate you being here on the show. And if you'd like to attend the virtual town hall meeting, we're going to put the information in the post for this show. So you can check out the link, you can register ahead of time, and you can join Nithy for that and look for him across our social media platforms this week. Nithy, if you do get any updates, anything new, just let us know. We want to get you back on the show as soon as possible so we can keep our students informed.
Thanks, Todd. Thanks, Brittany. This is very important. We will pass this moment, hang in together, stay strong. We will make this moment in a beautiful way.
Thank you, Nithy. We appreciate you being here, the director of our International Student Services. Thanks for being on the show today.
Thanks, Todd. Appreciate it much. Bye.
We're going to talk student success stories. And one of our biggest student success, a gentleman you may have recognized. His video has been played all over the place. Chris Kimball's joining us. And Chris, good morning once again.
Good morning, Todd. Thanks for having me.
Now, you and I have met many times over the last few years. We did a video on you. You spoke at one of our convocations, very inspirational speech. But tell our students what you're up to right now. You've been going to HCC and taking a lot of hours. That's been taking its toll on you, huh?
Yes, and I'm thankful that it happened. Nothing better could happen to me. I have one last course to take. I believe it's portfolio for animators, and I can't wait to get started.
Very cool. And first off, tell us why now, why you chose to go to college now, because there's a little bit of a backstory with that.
Yes, I had a job for 20 years, and the one thing I saw was that when I started working, I watched people retire. And as 20 years went by, I noticed that people I thought would one day retire, they couldn't afford to retire anymore. And my back was telling me that I may not be able to do an extended bout of labor.
And tell us about the classes you've been taking, the program you've been in, because you're in digital communications now. And you tell us what your goals have been with that so far.
Well, the best thing that happened was HCC had me take a course called EDUC. And it was a gut check about why I was coming to college and the course matter that I was taking. And once it got through with me and I had reconfirmed to myself this is what I wanted to do, everything just got easier.
And why did you choose HCC? I know you had a bit of help from a scholarship, I believe.
Yes, one of the HCC vendors, Gold Star Carports, had given me a scholarship. Basically, any equipment that I saw at school, this company purchased for me. Everything that I told them I was working with. So that was just a great opportunity. And when it came to going to HCC, the value of the GI Bill is more than monetary for me. Some people lost their lives and they would never get this chance to use this educational opportunity. So it was very important that someone, an institution with integrity and honor, would have charge over me and also be responsible for my education.
And you are a veteran. We appreciate your service. And that's, as you're saying, helped spark, get you into college because of being a veteran, correct?
Yes, absolutely. And like you were saying earlier about the international community, I was privileged enough to attend several international schools. And in my experience, that's how we learn from each other, is sharing our culture. And that's another big plus of the HCC experience. It was no different from any international school I have attended before.
What's been the greatest experience so far going to HCC for you?
It was actually something unexpected. I began to tutor a few semesters ago, and at first it seemed like a job, but then it turned into something else, something bigger, and it was helping people, other students who were just like me, who were just looking for some answers and looking for some help. And it blossomed into also a period to quiz myself and to stay sharp on the things that I had just been exposed to.
Where do you see yourself going in the next couple of years? What would you like to do when you're finished here finally at HCC?
I'd like to see myself utilizing this tremendous skill set that I have been exposed to. Now that I'm nearing this first degree, I understand that my initial ability was to do one homework assignment. Now I want to be proficient in every assignment that I've had. So in some short time, you should see me release some media that is expressive and telling my story.
Well, we look forward to seeing that, Chris, and we've enjoyed the short moments we've had to work together. We'd like to see you more at HCCTV, and we're always proud of the folks who've gone through the DigiComm program.
Thank you very much, Todd. It was great to be here.
It's good seeing you. Don't make yourself a stranger. We want to see you back here again, Chris.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. We're going to move across town to Brittany. Good morning again, Brittany.
Good morning, and to shout out to Chris, Semper Fi. Thank you very much for your service. My dad was in the Navy, so I have veterans are very near and dear to my heart. So thank you for everything you've done, Chris. And as a DigiComm alum, it's the best program. I'm just saying, you know. So
good for you guys. You know, because you're a DigiComm alum too. A few years ago, correct?
More than a few years ago, but yeah.
All right. Well, you know, Brittany, the underlying theme of all of our shows really have been this COVID pandemic that's going on right now. And there's a lot of testing needed across the Houston and Harris County area. And there's several testing sites that have opened up at HCC that are either continuing right now or a few of them that have just opened.
That's correct. So last week we talked about our East Side campus has reopened for COVID testing, but last week as well, as Texas Senator Carol Alvarado had announced that we're also opening up a new location at our Felix Fraga campus in Second Ward. And this is offering more to our Hispanic communities because from what I actually read, Hispanics make up about 40% of the testing that's going on here in Houston. So this is happening this week at 301 North Drennan Street. Again, this is our Felix Fraga campus. Both campuses are open from Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And I believe you do not need an appointment at either location. The other locations that we are offering testing but do require appointments are our Northeast campus at 555 Community College Drive and our South campus, which is at 1990 Airport Boulevard. Again, both Northeast and South campus are required to have appointments. This is Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So if you're interested in making an appointment, be sure to call 512-883-2400. We'll put all that information in our post to make sure that everyone has access to this information.
That's right. And of course, those are going on right now. You can find the information in our post for the show. We've got a virtual convocation for our faculty and staff coming up. Registration begins today. It's open registration. The theme of this year's convocation is We're All Connected. And the convocation happens Friday, August 21st. Next month. So registration opens today and it's going on through, I believe, August the 17th, Brittany.
That's correct, Todd. So again, this is open for our HCC faculty and staff. This is more of an internal event. However, we do put it out here on Facebook since many of our HCC family members are here getting this information. So save the date for convocation, Friday, August 21st. Be sure to register today through Monday, August 17th. Details are to follow at hccs.edu.
We had last week, we had Brittany, a couple of guests on the show talking about the U of H Engineering Academy with HCC. Well, their academy deadline for applications ends this week, Friday, July 17th. So if you want to be part of the inaugural class, which kicks off in the fall 2020, the HCC Engineering Academy students, you'll be co-enrolled at both U of H and HCC. You have a chance to save tens of $1,000s to get your degree, because you will wind up, if you complete the program, with a four-year degree from the University of Houston as an engineering graduate. Of course, applications now at hccs.edu/engineering-UH. Make sure you apply before the end of this week. That's when the deadline is.
That's correct, Todd. And moving onward to our MBDA virtual subs and sandwiches with Austin Commercial. This is a chance for entrepreneurs to get together virtually. So BYOS, bring your own sandwich or sub. That's happening this Wednesday, July 15th at 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. If you're interested, be sure to head over to our website for the events calendar by going to hccs.edu/events.
And rec sports, you know them, you love them. Zoom on Zumba, well, not this week, but you can take virtual boot camp classes. They're having noon at 12:40 Tuesdays and Thursdays. So it's a 40-minute class, and that's this week, 7/14 and 7/16. Current HCC students, staff, and faculty. You must have an HCCS email in order to enroll for this, but you can email christian.andrews@hccs.edu with the subject line, Virtual Fitness Summer 2020. Who knows, you may see somebody like Brittany in one of those classes. Are you going to be doing the boot camps this week?
That's a hard pass. That's a hard pass. Now, Todd, because you're such a fan of Zumba, I'm pretty sure you should create your own Zumba Zoom room. That way you can get going with that. But one last thing, Todd, it's not in our script, but I have to plug it in here and now, just because there is a question about orientation here on social media. Someone's asking about orientation. A really good piece of information for everyone to know is that our enrollment services are hosting virtual information sessions weekly all the way through August. So I believe the next one is tomorrow. To double check, be sure to head over to hccs.edu/information sessions to register. It is required in order to participate in this enrollment or rather information session. Once again, that web address is hccs.edu/information sessions. And Todd, who's your friend over there?
We had a special guest join. I don't know what the deal is. He's usually sleeping during the show, but for some reason, Peter Frampton the Poodle decided to jump up. So he's wanting some attention for the show. I don't know. Maybe he had something to say and he forgot to say it. So anyway, special appearance by Peter Frampton the Poodle. Okay, go lay down. There you go.
He's adorable. Maybe he's just wanting everyone to know about
I don't know what the deal is. He's wanting my attention this morning. Usually during the show, he doesn't like to hear all the people talking. So usually during this show, he's sleeping on the sofa, sleeping on the bed. But this morning, he's going crazy. So I don't know what's happening with that.
What a life.
Yeah, just the way. Maybe, let me clarify the Zumba thing. I've never done Zumba, have no interest in Zumba, but I'm trying to coin the phrase Zumba on Zoom. Okay. I want to get t-shirts made. I'm thinking hashtagging. That's what I'm trying to do.
I think you really just want to do Zumba, just saying.
No, I like running. So that's my thing. But anyway, so that pretty much wraps up the show for today. One thing we want to let people know, and I want to mention this again because we had Nithy on, the director of our International Student Services. Students, if you have questions, we're here for you. Let us know in our comments. Brittany researches those, gets the answers, and posts them back to you. Our whole social media team looks out for him. Nithy is going to, he's been on our show today. He will be on a couple of our other shows, and they have their town hall meeting on Wednesday. So if you still have questions about your international status, and we are here to answer those. So we're going to get those answered. Make sure you send us a direct message or comment below, and tune into our broadcasts as we will keep you up to date for this information as things literally are changing, Brittany, on a daily basis.
That's absolutely true, Todd. And obviously, we care about all of our students, domestic and international. And so we want to be sure to give everyone the most up-to-date information as well as the most correct information. Don't believe all the rumors that you're seeing on social media or hearing about.
Right.
The best way to get accurate information is by contacting the institution. You can certainly reach out to us on social media, DM us, comments. We'll be sure to read them and to forward them onward to college administration and or advise you to reach out to the appropriate offices.
Absolutely. So tomorrow on the show, Brittany, we've got some special guests. Indra Paola Pelais. You know Indra?
I do. She's one of our, she's been here before, I believe, on the show.
Yeah.
She's our Associate Vice Chancellor for Enrollment Management and Success. And she's going to talk to us about our fall registration and give us more answers for our students who have been obviously wanting to know what's happening about fall.
Yeah, so we're going to get a lot of those questions answered tomorrow. And later in the week, we've got special guests coming up. We've got someone from the Museum of Fine Arts Houston. We've also got our resident poet, Dr. Jimmy Adams. He starts a new segment this week, Brittany. He's going to be on Fridays.
Hey.
Yep, there you go. So Dr. Adams will be on Fridays, and we've also got the Chief on Wednesday. So we always fun. So that's a big packed week for you here on Up to the Minute. We appreciate you joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. on Up to the Minute.